What y'all doing?
We're helping.
What are you helping with?
Our garden.
Your garden? What's going in your garden?
Plants.
What kind of plants?
I don't know.
You don't know? You just gonna do it, huh?
We're helping.
Helping. Y'all are big helpers.
That's what my business.
Brother, brother, don't you know it don't matter where you go, bad news has a way to seek you out. You can change the pace, you can run and hide, but that don't change the folks outside. The world just has a bite, it's pretty stout. Righteousness won't fill your cup, your dues you don't just won't add up. Sometimes you gotta fake it till you make it. Show 'em just what you're made of, and all your dreams will stand right up. It's all right there, just ready for the taking.
What is happening, y'all?
Hey.
Welcome to Stivers Homestead, our favorite day of the week. The goats too. Oh, sorry, someone's a little sunburned.
Hers are burnt. Smack me.
So today is garden walk day slash tour, whatever you want to call it. So this is the third one of the year, and we are super excited because there has been a lot of things changed, and we are ready to show you all.
Let's do it.
Hi, kids.
So today we're gonna plant this little bed that we have out front.
That's all it is.
Yeah, it's mainly for the kids, and I mean it's also useful stuff as well. I like to also try to make things useful when we plant. So they're gonna help us plant it. Zach made it for us the other day. It's a 4x10 bed, and we have a video on that we did. So today they're gonna help us plant some giant zinnias. Y'all know that Zach loves his zinnias.
Yeah, buddy.
So we're gonna go ahead and plant some more. And we're gonna plant some amaranth Juana's orange, which is rich in vitamins, so that's also gonna be edible for us, as well as pretty. We have another amaranth elephant head, so that one's also edible. You can eat the greens all summer long. And some Aster Supremes. They're gonna be really, really pretty. They're just a pretty flower. I'm not really sure of any uses for them other than just, you know, beautiful. So we're gonna do that in their bed. And then the last one they're gonna do is some cotton seeds. And that's just kind of a fun one. We're not gonna do anything with it. They're just gonna have some fun with that and be able to watch it grow. So I think that's gonna be pretty cool for them. So we're getting all our markers laid out and getting organized so that we can just get everything in there. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Everybody's planting cotton seeds.
And me too.
Yeah. Cool.
Last time.
So I recommend cotton for kids. It's really easy. The seeds are big to where they can see what they're doing and where they're putting them. And it's just an easy thing to grow. Which, fun fact, it's actually illegal to plant cotton in your backyard home in a lot of states. So before you do go doing that, make sure it's legal in your state, so I'm not telling you the wrong thing. In Kentucky, it is legal to plant it in a backyard garden because cotton is not a cash crop for us. So just make sure you check on that before you do go do that. All right, so it's all planted. And here's what it looks like in front of the porch. I like our little bed. Hopefully, we wanna add another one right over here, but it's really unlevel, so I'm not really sure how that would work, but you guys did a great job.
Good job, y'all.
It's hot. It's a very humid day.
I'm not gonna
Are you excited about watching them grow?
Not right now.
Not right now. It's too hot right now. We'll just check it over time. Okay? Sound good?
Yeah.
Thank y'all.
You're
Alright, so these little tire garden beds are still kicking. We've got the celosia, which is doing awesome. This might be my new favorite thing to grow. It is so cool. It hasn't had any issues. No transplant shock, nothing. It's just doing great. The lilies' blooms have died off, but we might get more of those. We'll see. And then the caladium over here is doing good as well. I actually found a lot of other different variety caladiums at our nursery this weekend, and that might be something that we might have to always grow too, because it's pretty cool. There's so many different varieties of it, and they're all beautiful. So they're all variegated, so we might have to get some more.
I'll tell you what, for some reason, every time we go on this garden tour, guineas think y'all are danger or something. Which, speaking of guineas, we're gonna have a video this week talking about the benefits of guineas, just FYI, because they are turning quickly into our favorite animal, even over the goats, well, in my opinion. I love our guineas. They're really cool, so stay tuned for that action.
Full update back here, because I probably...
Oh yeah, that's right. The pool grows too.
We might be living more in the pool than we are in our house, because it is comfortable and the kids are obsessed with it. They love to get in it, and it's just an easy way to entertain.
We had a lot of fun this past Memorial Day weekend, just hanging out with the kids in there. We was flipping wide all over the place. Raylan's, she's learning how to swim really well. It's awesome. Throw your kids in a pool. All right.
Talk about your zinnias.
My favorite part. These zinnias. Look at them. Oh yeah. So we had a few kind of go down. I'm not sure why. Everything looks extremely healthy, as you all can see. So basically I just pulled them out, and everything seems to be good to go. But we did have about 2 die. Broke my heart a little. But they look good, they smell good, and they're just Zinnias kicking the chicken. Okay, moving right along. Remember me telling you all that zucchinis and squash are the easiest things that you could possibly grow? They are. So we struggled badly with them for their, I don't know, maybe a week or so. They all turned yellow. They looked like they weren't gonna make it. Well, they are now. And we've even actually got a zucchini going. Let's go over and check this out. So if you're new to gardening and you're like, what should I grow? What should I try? What's low maintenance? Get you some zucchini and squash. It's so easy to grow them, and they just take off like wildfire. It's quite amazing. So right here is our first zucchini of the year. And there's still a few that are trying to catch up and take back off, but for the most part they are looking great and just really starting to thrive. We have no more issues there. We also have this pole bean right here who's just making his way right on up the fencing.
So we've also got quite a few of our sunflowers coming up. They're coming up all along this back line here, and they're gonna make a really pretty background for this fence. And we've also got quite a few Cherokee Tam pumpkins and Jack B. Little pumpkins that are coming up as well. So they took no time to sprout, and I think they're gonna do really good in this area. We're pretty excited about them.
Super pumped about those Cherokee Tam pumpkins kicking off. You know, Miss Wanda and Mr. Danny down at Deep South Homestead, they gave us those to try to grow in a little collaboration, so we're super pumped to see them come up and really excited to have those. So Jen's got her chocolate mint here.
Yes, it finally came back, and it's doing really well, and it tastes so good. So a lot of people suggested putting it in something, and it's in this grow bag. That's where we originally put it, so it's not going to take over anything else, and it's just going to grow right in here, and that'll give us enough that we need.
Okay, on to the raised beds, but first, this little picnic table full of things. So this is the remainder stuff that was in our greenhouse that is just way too hot for now. But if you kind of look, just kind of glancing at everything, we have some herbs that are here, which we just harvested. We also got some tomatoes, and then we have some peppers, and then some more peppers. So basically what we're gonna do with those is, we'll show you here in just a second, but they're gonna take over where the lettuce and the onions and the broccoli and all the winter crops are once we pull them up. So let's go over and check out the raised beds. What we got, babe?
All right, so our pepper bed is doing well.
Peppers!
They're growing spring, finally. I think they had their little stunted growth section and now they're starting to climb right on up and they're doing really good. So we got all kinds of peppers in here, all kinds of different varieties. Jalapenos, chocolate beauties, habaneros, Tabascos, and then just your regular old bell peppers. So they're all doing pretty good. They're loving this heat. That is where peppers thrive, is in the heat.
You know, one thing that's kind of interesting, peppers, we have a fly that's just been following us the whole time. Peppers actually are very thirsty like cucumbers. I don't feel like I hear many people say like that, but they are. They like a lot of water and a lot of heat. So you have to try to keep them watered. You know, we kind of break the rules. Whenever we water the cucumbers, we normally water the peppers as well because they really enjoy it. They need a lot. So now we're on the bed that is about to change a lot.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things that's going on in here. So you want to show them what's going on?
Yep, so we've got all our onions down here, and we've also got some okra that was just planted. So the okra is gonna stay. Onions are coming up. Loofah gourds are staying. They're gonna climb up this trellis. And then down there, all of our lettuce is coming up. We're gonna harvest that. And then the Chinese red noodle beans are gonna stay and grow up the trellis.
As y'all can see, this one is bolting, and so is this one. So that's probably gonna be a little bit goat food. Do you wanna go ahead and grab that onion out of there?
Let's get this onion out. Might need to.
And dig around a little bit.
All right. There's an onion. Looking good. I'm gonna put that dirt back in the bed because that was expensive. That's where it needs to stay. It is so sweet and so good. I love it. It's pretty yummy.
Over here just eating on the garden tour, I tell you what. So as you can tell, that onion was a little bit small, but we are ready to turn this bed into more and get the other tomatoes and peppers in here. So the lettuce is going, like Jen mentioned, and then the red noodle beans are looking really good. And so we're super excited about that, and moving forward, the lettuce has been great, literally for the past, what, 3 months? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been awesome. We've really harvested. And now, that awful Bonnie's Best tomato bed that we talked about last time. So let's get down here and look at them, and I'll tell y'all a few things that's been happening. So, you all suggested so many awesome ideas about what's going on with this bed. If you're first now catching this garden tour and you haven't seen our previous one, our Bonnie's Best all had leaf curl. I mean, they were curling up like it was nobody's business, and some didn't make it. Most, though, are coming back. So what we had determined it was lack of nutrients in the soil, and then also planted 1 week early. We think that it was out, ultimately that was probably the main piece, was that it was just out 1 week too early. Because that week that they were in here, they had a lot of wind, a lot, I won't say cold weather, but we dropped them down to the 40s a few times that week. And so just with transplant shock, the wind, and the cold weather, I think that's what really damaged these bad boys. So what we did to fix them, so if you're going through the same thing, this is what you need to do. A couple were too far gone. So what we did was planted some new ones. So some of the ones that we had on the picnic table that we're gonna put over there, I just uprooted the ones that were in here because they were just gone. So those are a couple beefsteaks that we put in there. But for all the others, let that armpit grow. That's what we did. So we let the suckers grow and pretty much turn into a brand new tomato plant because they were starting to get healed. However, it's putting all of its energy in trying to recover the previous tomato plant, basically. And so it's not able to thrive the new. So what we did was we pruned all the lower leaves, all the lower stems off, and are now allowing the suckers to grow and become the tomato plant we need it to be, because they all are thriving. So here's an example right here. You can see it pretty well. So basically, I trimmed off all the bottom, me and Jen did, and then we just let this bad boy grow and turn that sucker into the Bonnie's Best tomato plant that we need it to be. So this bed is looking really good. Let's hop up here, give you a little shot of it. Not all of them are looking amazing, but they're all getting there. So with the fish minerals and with the neem oil helping out with bugs, we now have some thriving tomato bed number 1. While we're here as well, you can see the cucumbers are looking really good and starting to come with the trellis. And so if you have cucumbers that are going up a cattle pedal trellis, make sure to tie them because they're gonna fall over. So how we did it was we put them on the outside. And so I just gave it a little bitty tie. Oh, look at there. Can you see it? Our first itty bitty cucumber. How about that?
No.
I didn't even see that before we got started here.
Cucumber.
Happy birthday. So yeah, so we just gave it a little bitty tie so it'll start making its way up this trellis. But they're already getting huge.
All right, so now we've got the tea garden. Everything is doing well. Basil over there is doing good. My fenugreek is growing so quickly. My hyssop is doing well. My lavender is starting to get bigger. It's starting to grow. My marigolds are starting to put off their first bloom, so they'll be blooming here shortly. Look at that little guy. My licorice basil, my chamomile, look at all that. It is thriving. All my lemon balm, my lemon mint, my dandelions, everything is doing good. And then if you saw our last video, we added some stuff. This is not a part of the tea garden, it's just sitting here because it's a good spot. But this is a citronella plant, so it's gonna help keep mosquitoes and other things away. And my thyme is doing well. I love feeling thyme. And my variegated sage is doing really good. And my oregano. So we just planted all this stuff. We actually bought these 4 and then transplanted them. And you know, like herbs do, they just never have any kind of issue. Herbs are so easy, they're my favorite. They never have complaints, never have problems, they just grow the way that they're supposed to. So that's the tea garden and it is doing really well. I'm excited to expand this and make it bigger and get some of this stuff out and put it to where it can completely bush out.
Who decided to do this video in the heat of the day, babe?
It's so hot. I thought this was a good time because I thought the sun would be going down. It's just hot.
Y'all sweat along with us. We got more to show. So this bed's looking really good. I'm actually quite impressed by it. So this is our bush bean and beet bed. So the bush beans are looking good. There's been a little bit of bug issue that's been eating on them, but that's why we put the neem oil on it. So none of that's after the neem oil. It had already been there. So hopefully that gets it. We're just gonna keep monitoring and watching. But the beets, check these out. These beets are really taking off and impressing us with how much they're thriving right now. So this was quite a, I don't know, bed, but it's really starting to show itself off and do really good. So now, you gonna show them the best bed there is?
Yep.
All right, here you go.
Do it.
Me to step in there.
Look at these tomatoes. So the last time y'all saw them, we had tied them up, like just tied them up. And they were little babies. And we have had a lot of rain that's come through and they are rocking it. Most of them are halfway up these stakes, if not 3/4.
Oh,
and
look. You see it?
oh, a little baby tomato. So that almost all of them have their flowers. They're setting off their blooms and we are gonna have tomatoes in no time. Super excited about this bed. This is our tomato variety bed if you're new and you haven't been following. So every single one of these tomatoes in this bed is different. We've got white cherries, Romas, Brandywines, chocolate beauties, and then we've got comfrey at the end that's also doing really well.
Aunt Ruby German Green.
Aunt Ruby's German Green tomatoes.
Pink Ox Hearts.
Pink Ox Hearts.
And I want to say these, that's a Jimmy, Jimmy Nardello. And
yeah, we've got a few peppers down here at the end just because we had some space that we needed to fill up. Here at Starver's Homestead, we try to make use of every spot that we can. So we added in these 3 peppers, and even the peppers are thriving in this bed. This is just an awesome bed all around.
So this is one of the reasons a lot of people had mentioned that maybe it was our straw that we used that had a herbicide on it. So the only reason we're saying it's not because we use that same bale, and look at these tomatoes, y'all. I mean, there's not a single bit of leaf curl, and I'm ultimately saying this is on weather and a little bit of the variety itself. My dad has a friend that's really big into gardening. He does a lot of gardening. He had the exact same thing happen to one specific variety. I mean, it's a variety very similar to the Bonnie's Best variety. So he Googled and he researched, and he found out that unfortunately the variety he got is just prone to leaf curl. It's a defense mechanism, right? So it's trying to block itself and protect the plant. And sometimes if it gets too far, then it's not gonna come back. But that's what it is. It's just trying to be defensive and protect itself. And some varieties are just more prone to those things than others. And you know, we probably won't go Bonnie's Best next year because of this, because as we can tell with these, it's not a soil, it's not a straw, it's not a mineral issue. And everything is exactly the same beside being 1 week earlier, and all those are the same exact variety. So that's kind of what we're marking it up for. But I know a lot of people love Bonnie's Best. They get some pretty good ratings, just didn't work for us.
All right, and this is the last of the raised beds. We've got all our radishes in here, which should be good to pull soon. I don't see them being out here too much longer. And then down here, we've got our cauliflower, which is all bolting. Unfortunately, the plants just weren't big enough, and they started to bolt and go to seeds. So we're probably gonna dig them out soon. We might be saving the seeds, and we might be feeding the plants to the animals, and we'll see where that takes us. And then all of our broccoli is rocking.
That broccoli better not bolt. I'll tell you what, we've been watching him for too long to start bolting now. So hold strong, little broccoli.
Hold strong, little broccoli.
We got another one right there.
We've got another little broccoli baby over here. We were also having something eat our leaves, but after the neem oil, everything is fine, everything is good to go. So that's definitely something that we're gonna put into routine and make sure we get on our plants so that they can be pest and bug free. But these broccolis are awesome. I started these back in January, and they are rocking. And then once they're done, we can get these up and have the whole bed to do whatever we want with.
So now it is time to harvest some peas. Check out all them bad boys.
Those are Lincoln peas from M.I. Gardner.
Peas for days. So we had told you that a lot of the peas didn't make it. That was in the containers. Well, they did. They just didn't have anything to trellis up, like the chicken wire that I was telling you all. So I'm glad that I saw some people said that they did that. She's back here eating that onion. It ain't even gonna make it into the house. But I told you all that trellis needed chicken wire if you're doing peas. So I hope some people took my advice, because once we got it on there, they took right back off. Now it's time for some more cucumbers. So the cucumbers on the pallet trellis are doing awesome. So I went ahead and added some chicken wire to here just so they can attach onto it. And as you all can tell, they are looking great. Again, had a slight bug issue, but we're good to go. Uh-oh, look at there. Is that another cucumber? I think so. Y'all, this stuff is so exciting. We finally actually got some growth going. We got some fruit coming in. And look at the lettuce that's still in here. These we are not taking up. I forget who
started later.
Yeah, but I forget who suggested it, but they said to put lettuce underneath this pallet trellis, and that was a genius idea, because they are thriving. So this little fella, he's just getting ate up. The neem oil was on it, and I actually see an ant on it right now, but he's just getting ate to pieces. So, you know, ultimately, if he's our sacrifice for the rest, then let's let it be. But we're gonna keep putting neem oil on it. I actually see a dead ant right there. Nope, he ain't dead. So, I don't know. We're working on him, but he's pretty infested with different things, and we're just trying not to let it get to the other plants. Because as you can tell, we got a pretty rocking one going on here. I wonder if he's got any surprises. I don't think so just yet, but he is about ready. Uh-oh, that might be one. Don't know if y'all can see that or not. And then this guy. So I need to still tie him so he doesn't fall over. But that's kind of the reason that you want to make sure you're tying everything just so it stays on the trellis and you're training it up. So just keep that in mind if you're trying to put anything up a trellis. You gotta help it get started, so it's not just gonna immediately take off to it. So this one's tied right there. Just tie it to the stalk, tie it light, just so it'll hang out there, and then all these little guys can attach to the chicken wire. But man, what a garden pop from last week. Absolutely amazing.
So Garden Bunny is doing great. She's in the shade 95% of the day. The only sun that she gets is that early morning sun. And she is providing some awesome fertilizer for our raised beds. So we just empty her cage every day and throw it right into the beds. And she's super happy. The kids love to come out and play with her. And she's doing really well. We're still hoping to get her some friends, hopefully soon, but she's a good little girl and she loves her little bunny home she's playing. She loves when Zach mows the grass and throws those little grass clippings in there. That's her favorite thing. Last but not least, the hydrangeas are doing well. We love looking at them. They're so pretty over here in the shade. And they're just doing really good. I think that's definitely something I'm gonna get more of next year or start from seed because they're really, really pretty. So we hope y'all enjoy the garden tour. As you also saw at the beginning, that is the kids' flower bed slash fun experiment science bed.
It's a little bit of everything.
It's a little bit of everything. And it's really just for them. We're not gonna expect anything out of it. It's just something for them to feel included in the garden and where they can dig and put their seeds in and just be happy with their own little space. Yeah, it's really cool. That cotton is wild. Just having cotton on a seed is neat on itself. So I hope you all enjoyed that. Remember what Jen said though? It's not legal in all states. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do to you, but yeah. Ours isn't, so just check that before you go grow cotton in your backyard. However, I'm so excited about some giant zinnias. Oh, they just take off and look like a big old sunflower, so we'll see about those, but that was a lot of fun. Man, this garden is kicking. It is. Thank y'all so much for watching and for joining us, and we're getting back into it this week. We took the weekend off for the most part and just enjoyed Memorial Day and time with family. We hope that you all enjoyed your time as well. Thank you to everyone who has served or is going to serve. We always appreciate that. It's a big part of our family lives. So that's right. Thank you so much. Thank you to our fallen soldiers that allow us to even do this. You know, that's the reason of the past weekend. So thank you all so much. We really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed our garden tour, seeing the zucchini, the cucumbers, and the little bitty tomatoes all sprouting up. Because I know we're super pumped. Yep, and I think that's it. We're actually gonna go in and get on our live tonight. So we will talk to you all on the live, which by this time you see this, it will be tomorrow. So we will have already talked to you, and we will talk to you in the comments. We love y'all. All right, bye y'all.